Hello everyone, this is the love video for the horoscope Aries for the month of October and for whatever is rest of the month of September. Before anything, this is new. I'd like to update you on what's going on. I've made a video about this already, but I have my exclusive cards at the end of the video, and what do those mean? It's that they are exclusive cards that give a little bit more detail about the horoscope that you're about to see. If you would like to see these cards, you just need to join my membership or community. All you need to do in order to join is you need to click on the join button below this video. It's on the right hand side, and it'll redirect you to a payment page, which is $4.99, and it'll be in your currency. So that gives you monthly access to these exclusive cards, and you'll be able to see not only your horoscope, but all 12 horoscopes as well. So if you would like to be part of that exclusive club or membership, you just need to click the join button in order to see the cards, and these cards should give you a little bit more insight into the horoscope reading. Okay, so for the reading for this month, Aries, we have the regular deck, and I also have the Lenormand deck. I feel that this Lenormand deck does provide a lot of additional information as well. So for those of you that have never seen my videos before, I'll explain to you here. I shuffle my deck and 7 cards turn over, and I put them in 3 rows. And then I also utilize the last card as a guide for the reading. Okay, so for this type of reading, you need to think of whatever line it is that you want, or you can wait until the end of the video, see all 3 lines, and decide which line resonates with you best. I also would like to confirm with all of you that this reading does apply to your ascendant and moon sign as well. Okay, Aries, so let's see what we have for you on the first line here. Okay, so one more card to complete the first line. Okay, so we actually have 3 more cards. Okay, so we'll see what we have for you, Aries, for the first line. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, first of all, is the card of 6 of Swords in reverse. And we're talking about here topics that are very important that you need to communicate with someone else, or someone that needs to communicate with you. Conversations that are left pending, conversations that are necessary for, in certain ways, so to speak, to move from one place to another. Then they're necessary for that reason. That's what I'm feeling in this first line. The first card that you have here is the Queen of Swords in reverse. And this card talks about a lot of things. This card talks about a person who is close to you, someone who is very conflictive, could be someone who is your partner. I see someone who is an air sign, so we would be talking about Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. As I've said to you before, it could be someone else, but let's concentrate first on the first case in which that they are your partner. This could be a partner that, it could be 2 women here, or 2 men. It could also be a heterosexual couple, but I'm giving you all of the possibilities here that I'm seeing. Whichever couple it is, we're talking about that one person here is very bothered with you, Aries. If it's someone that you know, then I would also say, and if it's, especially if they are an air sign here, we are talking about someone who I would say is resentful against you, is bothered. And I feel that this person is thinking that almost you no longer want to collaborate with him or her in certain plans that you previously had. Here you present yourself, it could also be that you are someone who is already engaged to someone, and this other person is not. I'm giving you all the different possibilities that I'm seeing here. Here, obviously, I see someone who is very unhappy. This card, look, it could represent many different people that you may not even realize. It could be a friend who's unhappy, a partner who's unhappy. It could be a mother-in-law. This card has many different denotations here, and I can't do the reading with every single example, but if you are dealing with someone here who is an air sign, as I've said previously, and this person is acting in a very strange way, or a juvenile way, I could say, then now I will explain to you why. This tells me that between both of you, there is a connection here. Here we're talking about a couple, a spiritual connection. Two people who, without speaking to one another, they understand each other. You speak the same language, figuratively speaking. Okay, so two people who can speak without words. This is a connection that could also refer to a karmic relationship. Spirits and souls that have evolved to find each other once again. And this tells me here that one of the individuals is searching for something here. I see that in this moment, I feel that they are not counting on the necessary resources or not receiving the help necessary. I feel clearly here that the other individual is the one that is bothered with you in this relationship specifically. Because when this card here of the Queen of Swords is in reverse, it's someone who has decided to, even to a certain point, to end the relationship in the way that it used to be, or change the communication method. Here I feel something that is very strange and bothersome. This tells me that to you, it could be that it's causing you a bit of worry, anxiety. You are constantly thinking about what's going on, and I see that there will be a sporadic communication that is produced, but I see that this person does not like to be pushed in any way. They don't want to feel forced to speak with you. And so the conclusion that I'm seeing here is the following in this relationship. If it is long distance, it won't end. Because this card here talks about a process that continues. Yes, there are things that we need to balance out. Yes, there are things that we need to communicate. But definitely here I'm seeing there's some imbalance. And as I've said, the balance leans one way. And I'm seeing that it's because one person in the relationship is bothered by the other. It could be in reverse, that Aries, you're the one that's more bothered with your partner, who is an air sign. But in reality here, what I'm feeling is that you've almost become indifferent, that the other person is bothered by you. Fire signs, and in this case, especially for Aries, you're people who you might be bothered by something, but quickly you've changed direction. And that's what this is showing me here. So here I see that they're going to have, I would say, almost two different jobs. One is going to be to not to be bothered, and the other job is going to be to have to deal with your indifference. So this is what I feel here, that to you, really, You don't feel the need to have to do something to please this person, be it whoever it is, your partner, a friend, mother-in-law, etc. So let's take a look at what the Lenormand card has to tell us about this and how this is going to evolve. Okay. So here we have, it's the park. Okay, so this is what the card has to tell us here. This card talks about a type of a reunion or a retreat. Okay. It talks about connections here, which are via the internet here, or networking, which I believe this is exactly what's happening in this case here. This card refers to people who share things via online communications and places where connections are formed. As, for example, I mentioned online, via chat lines or online groups, and that's what this is kind of referring to here. Places in which, via communication, you can make connections with people, such as the park, for example. And this card also says here that this card in general signifies something public. Okay, and while it may seem strange that there are no people in the image, it is because the public space is what is being depicted. Okay, so it also talks about organizations here as well. So it could be a library, for example. And this card talks about something very important here. It's very important that you make connections, that you contact other people. I'm not sure if I'm feeling here the necessity to move from one state to another. I don't feel that you now want to deal with people who are so complex in their way of being and thinking. It's almost as if you've told yourself, now if we can't understand each other when we communicate, then I'm going to move ahead with my life. And in this case here, I see that you're going to start communicating with other people. You're going to go to these public places where you'll meet new people and be able to communicate with them better. And truly, I don't feel that you are going to take the time, Aries, to try and clarify anything. I think that is the other individual, if they're interested, to come to you and have that conversation in order to clarify certain things. I think that if they do speak to you, you'll hear them out and maybe come to an agreement, but I don't see that this is going to come from you. It's really, I see that you would prefer to move aside in this relationship, really. Okay, so that's for the first line, and I'm going to take a look and see what we have for the second line for you, Aries. So let's see what we have in the second line. Oh, wow. Look here at the cards, and if you wish, you can go back here to the first line. We are here seeing the same card of the Empress, the card of the Lovers, and the card here of the Knight. And so here, obviously, I see that there is a very, very clear connection with the first line. I feel that some people will feel identified with the first line and the second line. The Empress, I believe in this case, is defining you, Aries. Why do I feel this? Because I feel you strong. I feel you that you know what you want and where you're going, what are your values, what is it that you want in life and what you no longer want. This card also talks about a search. And in certain ways, leaving behind people who no longer see life the way that you do. They're not part of you anymore. And here I'm feeling that this time lately, for those of you that identify with this line, have felt that the interpersonal relationships, instead of flourishing, are diminishing. That people sometimes, with their ways of expressing themselves, or when they meet someone, a partner, it could be someone I see maybe who is an earth sign, so Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. And I feel that instead of making you feel better, they make you feel worse. And I feel that you've left that attitude behind of wanting to please people. And today you feel that what you need to do is enjoy life and search and find what it is that you truly need. Here I see you in a search. And that search will bear fruits, because here appears someone I see who is an earth sign, as I've said, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, but very different to the previous person. It's almost as if I see two stages. This is the stage that you leave behind with someone who is negative, someone who does not make you feel good about yourself, and you start a new stage of searching, and here you meet someone. I'll tell you, once again here, Aries, it is marked here by this card, and this card is a spiritual connection, which is very, very strong. I feel the following here, that no matter how much you try to get away from this and trying to find this person, they're in your path. It could be that you may already know this person and they are already in love with you, and you maybe don't pay attention to them or haven't noticed. But I also feel that this will happen very soon. It could be this month or in October, but someone is going to tell you that they truly love you. This card talks to me a little bit about maybe you've been ignoring that reality. And it could be here that this same person, maybe you've seen them with other eyes. You know, you might say, yes, I know them. They're a colleague or a neighbor, whatever. But starting this change that you're going to experience, you start to see them from a different perspective. And I believe here that conversation will be produced where these two people have a lot in common. Okay, so be alert, Aries, if you know someone that is from this element here, Earth, and when you speak with them, you start to feel synchronizations of likes, places, experiences, things like that. That's what I'm feeling. This person makes you feel excellent. there are going to be people who left a relationship with someone who is an earth sign and meet someone who is an earth sign newly again. Okay, well, this here talks to me about the figure quickly is almost like a labyrinth, is what I'm seeing here. Okay, and yeah, this is something that is about making your way through a confusing stream of events, often by trial and error. But what the labyrinth is trying to tell you is that there are ways for you to avoid being wrong. The labyrinth is just that. There are some people, as we know, that can quickly solve a labyrinth. Other people may take them some more time. But it's almost as if you've already tried in the past with people who are, for example, an earth sign, and you know more or less what their characterizations are. Well, when you meet someone again who is an earth sign, this labyrinth here, what it symbolizes is that you may find an easier route to get to your objective. Why? Because you already know how this person is and what types of things that they look for. So this talks to me about doing something incorrect, making an error, but newly finding strategies to help us get to our goals. So I see that you are evaluating the possibilities of what you have ahead of you. I believe that this person here is the person, man or woman, that you will find at the end of the labyrinth. Because here you are searching. This is, I would call it the end. There are easier routes to get to the end. You may already know because you have a lot of experience with what you're doing and the type of person you may be dealing with. So definitively here, there's someone for you, and there's someone who's waiting for you at the end of this labyrinth. Okay, so let's go to the third line. Okay, so let's take a look here. We've had a few extra cards. Okay, so here, Aries, this is telling you that you need to listen to your inner self, which is the Hermit card. It's to be in solitude and truly decide what it is that you want for your life. Here it tells me that you are going to make a decision. And once again here I feel that the decision you're going to make is strong, definitive. I think that here we are talking about a person who is an air sign, once again, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, a person who has tendencies to create love triangles, someone who you already know from a long time, and that this person is demonstrating or has demonstrated to make you feel a certain way. But this shows me that this situation or this person here is truly not bringing you to any type of end here, because they demonstrate that he or she is already with someone else. Okay, so I see that this would be taking a completely unnecessary risk. And you need to make a decision between two options. And the two options are this person, or here appears once again someone who is an earth sign. Okay, so I see it could also demonstrate the situation of this person, someone who's not finding themselves emotionally well. Let me take a look here. Yeah, a person here who for some reason or another, have tried to end things with previously. And this person, I feel that they are searching for you. Yeah, Aries, this month, I would tell you that I don't know if to call it passion, but more than anything, I'm seeing true love. I'm seeing many, many people interested in you. And someone may tell me, you know, I don't have anyone. And that's just it. When you don't feel that you have anyone, I would say watch the video again, because at the beginning what I've said is there is someone that you've not paid attention to or have not noticed around you. Definitively, I see that there are people who are interested in you. Here, once again, I have the love card. I have air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, interested in you. I have people who are fire signs, Aries like you, Sagittarius, or Leo. And here, once again, I have a Leo sign. And here I have earth signs, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. You have this month, really to choose from this month. So let's just take a look at what the Lenormand cards have to tell us about this. Okay. So the card that turned over here is this one. Okay, and actually we have these two as well. So we're going to take a look at each card. Okay, so for the first one, the flowers that we have here are the lilies. Or in other cultures, you may call them something different. This talks about calm, peace, and serenity, and is what I preach. Okay, so they signify that they bring wisdom and experience, and it is what I told you before. Based on your experience, it's what you will do in the future. They also signify a long-term relationship or ancestry, contentment and satisfaction as well. So here you have it there. This card, as I've told you, represents people that you've known for a long time. Also, this card symbolizes sexuality and passion, but also of purity. Okay. This card can be interpreted in many different ways because this has a paned glass behind it, and when we look through it, we're able to see things in one way or another. Here it talks a lot about a lot of excitement here. I see sexuality and passion, and also to protect someone or to communicate with someone. Yes, I believe that you are going to speak with someone who has the capacity to awaken something in you. Okay, it could be in the sexual aspect. It could be someone who communicates in a certain way that draws your attention. And then later we have here the birds here, which is the stork card. Yeah, so this also talks about movements here, which is, we're also starting a new season here. In some continents it's spring, in other continents it's autumn. And this is kind of what it talks about here. With movement, upgrades, and improvements, I bring spring and the change of seasons. I see that it's almost as if you're moving to change something or obtain something. And then the last card here is the key, which means that you have the capacity to move the key to the right to open or the left to close. Okay, and I feel that you are going to have many people arriving into your life, especially now that the seasons are changing, and you are going to decide what it is you want to do with this person. For example, you've seen an earth sign, you're going to talk to them, you're going to see if it's worth it or not. If not, you're going to close the door. This air sign arrives into your life, you're going to decide whether or not you want to keep them or not. And fire sign as well. This month for you, Aries, I'm going to see that it's going to be very active. Starting today, especially if you see here the number 17, I feel that the movement will start for you as far as meeting people and relationships and leaving certain things behind as well. So my advice to you is to think very clearly, what is it that you want to do with your life? Because this is exactly what it talks about. Making a movement and having the key to open or close a door. And obviously in our interpersonal relationships as well. I wish you all the best, Aries. If you would like a private reading, you can write to me, ameliatarot13@gmail.com. And if you would like to become one of my members, all you need to do is click the join button at the bottom of this video. And there you'll be able to subscribe to that membership. And lastly as well, if you would like to like my video or leave me a comment, you can do that as well. I read all of them. So thank you again, and I wish you all the best.